The unexpected arrival. The Galactic Confederation had never witnessed anything like it. A tear in spacetime opened without warning near one of their busiest transit hubs. The anomaly appeared precisely calculated, not the chaotic distortion of random chance or natural phenomena. One moment there was empty space, the next a massive vessel emerged, sleek black hull with pulsing blue energy lines running its length, nearly 2 kilometers from bow to stern. Most alarming were the visible weapon ports dotting its surface, currently sealed but unmistakable in purpose. Confederation alert protocols triggered instantly. Defense platforms reoriented, patrol vessels scrambled, and emergency transmissions saturated communication channels. The massive ship hung in space, making no aggressive moves, but its mere presence constituted an unprecedented security breach. Aboard the ESS Horizon, Captain Maya Torres stood on the command deck, observing the organized chaos their arrival had triggered. Her dark eyes tracked the movement of alien vessels through the massive viewscreen that dominated the bridge's forward wall. The culmination of humanity's greatest technological achievement had just announced itself to the galaxy, exactly as planned. "All systems nominal after transition, Captain," reported Commander Kai Chen, her executive officer. His calm voice carried across the bridge as officers monitored their stations with practiced efficiency. Hull integrity at 100%, shields fully operational. 17 Confederation vessels approaching in standard containment formation, announced Lieutenant Rivera from Tactical. Their weapons are powered, but targeting systems remain passive. Maya nodded, her expression betraying nothing of the historic weight of this moment. "Open communications on all frequencies and broadcast our arrival message. Let them know we come in peace." "Transmitting now," confirmed Communications Officer Patel, receiving multiple hails in return. "Their encryption is simple compared to our projections." The crew of the Horizon represented Earth's finest, selected from a pool of billions, trained in secret for this precise moment. For 30 years, humanity had known they weren't alone in the universe. The crashed scout ship discovered in the Atacama Desert had provided irrefutable proof, and more importantly, technological insights that accelerated human development by centuries. Instead of announcing their discovery to the world, a coalition of governments had made the unprecedented decision to prepare in secret. The Horizon Project was born, a massive undertaking to ensure humanity's first official contact with alien civilizations would be from a position of strength, not weakness. "They're requesting identification and purpose," Paddle reported, fingers dancing across her console. "Their language patterns match our predictive models." On screen, Maya ordered, straightening her midnight blue uniform with the subtle emblem of Earth's Unified Space Command. The view screen shifted to show an alien with iridescent purple skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Its mouth was a vertical slit that pulsed with light as it spoke. "Unknown vessel. This is Security Administrator Vex Lore of the Galactic Confederation. You have entered restricted space without authorization. Identify yourself and state your purpose immediately." Maya stepped forward, her voice clear and confident. "This is Captain Maya Torres of the Earth Federation ship Horizon. We represent humanity and the planet Earth. We come to establish diplomatic relations with the Galactic Confederation." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in an unsynchronized pattern that suggested surprise or confusion. "Earth, your system designation is Sol 3, a pre-spacefaring civilization, under observation protocols. Your development timeline indicates no capacity for interstellar travel for at least another century." Maya allowed herself a small smile. "It seems your observations were incomplete, Administrator. Humanity has been aware of the greater galactic community for 3 decades. We chose to develop our capabilities before making formal contact." The bridge crew maintained their professional composure, but pride radiated from every station. The Horizon represented Earth's greatest achievement, a vessel that combined reverse-engineered alien technology with uniquely human innovations, creating capabilities that should have been impossible at their stage of development. "This is highly irregular," Vexlor responded after a noticeable pause. No species has ever detected our observation platforms or developed interstellar capabilities without guidance. Humanity has always been resourceful when faced with challenges, Maya replied. We request permission to send a diplomatic delegation to discuss formal relations. We come with peaceful intentions, but are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. The alien administrator seemed to confer with others off-screen before responding. Permission granted, but under strict security protocols. Your vessel is significantly larger than our standard diplomatic facilities. Proceed to Military Dock 7 and prepare to receive a security delegation. The transmission ended, and Maya turned to her crew. And so it begins. Commander Chen, take us in at 1/4 thrust. Lieutenant Rivera, maintain defensive readiness at condition yellow. Item anticipate hostility, but let's not be caught unprepared. As the horizon approached the massive Confederation station, a structure resembling a gleaming metal flower with pedal-like extensions spanning 20 kilometers. Traffic scattered to give the human vessel a wide berth. News of their arrival was clearly spreading fast. They're scanning us intensively, reported Science Officer Dr. Imani Okafor. Multiple frequencies, including several our systems can barely detect. Let them look, Maya replied calmly. Our hull composition will give their scientists plenty to puzzle over. The horizon's exterior was composed of a revolutionary carbon-titanium nanomaterial lattice, developed after studying fragments from the crashed alien vessel. It could absorb or deflect most energy weapons and self-repair minor damage. Just one of many innovations that would confound Confederation experts. As they neared the massive docking bay, Maya addressed the bridge crew one final time before history would be made. This moment has been in preparation since before many of you were born. Earth has worked in secret, unified in purpose despite our differences, to ensure we would not enter the galactic stage as supplicants or subjects, but as equals. Today, we show the stars what humanity is capable of. The docking procedure went smoothly, the Horizon's systems interfacing perfectly with alien technology that should have been completely foreign. As the airlock sealed and atmospheric compatibility was confirmed, Captain Torres led the first diplomatic team toward the welcome party. The delegation that greeted them consisted of 7 different species, all observing the humans with expressions that translated across biological boundaries as shock and wariness. The lead representative stepped forward, a tall avian being with iridescent blue feathers and 4 arms. I am Security Director Zarel, it announced, its voice melodious even through translation devices. Your unexpected arrival has caused considerable concern. We have many questions. As do we, Director, Maya replied with a respectful nod. We look forward to an exchange of information that will benefit both humanity and the Confederation. As they were escorted through the station, the human delegation couldn't help but marvel at the diversity of life forms moving through the corridors. Some floated on cushions of manipulated gravity, others slithered or crawled, while still others moved on various configurations of legs or pseudopods. They were led to a large chamber where representatives of at least 24 species waited, arranged in a semicircle of floating platforms. At the center was Administrator Vexlor, now wearing ceremonial adornments that pulsed with light. Representatives of Earth, Vexlor began, your presence here contradicts all established protocols for species advancement. The Confederation has monitored thousands of worlds through their development. None have ever detected our presence, let alone developed technology to reach us without assistance or invitation. Maya stepped forward, her posture perfect and expression resolute. With respect, Administrator, perhaps that says more about your monitoring methods than about the species you observe. Humanity has always adapted quickly when faced with challenges. When we found evidence we were not alone, we chose to prepare rather than panic. A being that resembled a collection of crystalline rods connected by fluid-filled sacs floated forward. I am Science Elder Kavrash of the meritocracy of aligned minds. Your vessel employs technology that should be beyond your development stage. Our preliminary scans indicate at least 7 distinct technological approaches that no single Confederation race has mastered simultaneously. Humans take different paths to solve problems, explained Dr. Okafor, stepping forward beside her captain. We do not follow linear technological progression. When we encounter obstacles, we innovate around them. The tension in the chamber was palpable. Several representatives were clearly alarmed by humanity's unexpected capabilities. Others showed signs of curiosity or even admiration. A massive being with gray stony skin and glowing amber eyes spoke next, its voice rumbling like an avalanche. I am War Patriarch Gorv of the Kral Hegemony. Your vessel bears weapon signatures unlike anything in our database. You claim to come in peace, yet arrive in what is clearly a warship. Maya met the imposing alien's gaze without flinching. The Horizon was designed to protect Earth in a galaxy we knew little about. We hoped for friendship but prepared for alternatives. In our history, those who enter new territories unprepared rarely survive to regret their optimism. This statement caused a ripple of reactions throughout the chamber. Some representatives recoiled, while others leaned forward with interest. Administrator Vexlor's bioluminescent patterns pulsed rapidly. Captain Torres, while your arrival is unprecedented, it is not entirely unwelcome. The Confederation values diversity of thought and approach. However, there are protocols that must be followed, assessments that must be made. We understand, Maya replied. Earth is prepared to undergo whatever evaluations are customary. We seek to join the galactic community as contributors, not disruptors. As the formal introductions continued, Commander Chen quietly approached Captain Torres. Captain, our security team has detected unusual communication patterns among certain Confederation representatives. Analysis suggests some factions are significantly more alarmed by our arrival than they're showing publicly. Maya nodded almost imperceptibly. Keep monitoring. This reception is going as well as could be expected, but we knew not everyone would welcome our arrival. What none of the humans could know was that in secure chambers throughout the station, emergency meetings were already being called. The unexpected appearance of a technologically advanced Earth had disrupted countless predictions and plans. For some Confederation species, this represented an exciting opportunity. For others, it was nothing less than an existential threat. 3 days of diplomatic meetings had left Captain Torres cautiously optimistic. The Horizon remained docked at the Confederation station, while various scientific teams practically fell over themselves requesting tours and information exchanges. Some Confederation members had proven surprisingly welcoming, particularly the Vest Communion and the Epsilon Collective, species that had themselves risen to spacefaring status more rapidly than their peers. On the 4th day, as Maya reviewed reports with her senior staff, an urgent alert sounded. Lieutenant Rivera's voice came through the comm system, tense and urgent. Captain to the bridge, improving our worth. Captain Torres burst onto the bridge, Commander Chen close behind. Status report, she demanded, slipping into her command chair as the view screen displayed a tactical overlay of the Proxima sector. Distress signal from the Confederation colony on Proxima IV, Lieutenant Rivera explained. 3 unidentified vessels attacking the settlement. Confederation Defense Forces are responding but estimate arrival in 47 minutes. The colony will be destroyed by then, Dr. Okafor said, reviewing the data. Population approximately 12,000, mixed species. Maya didn't hesitate. How long would it take us to reach them? Navigation Officer Lieutenant Hassan calculated quickly. At maximum FTL, 17 minutes, Captain. Inform Confederation Command of our intentions. Set course for Proxima IV. Maximum speed, Maya ordered. Prepare all combat systems. Captain, Commander Chen cautioned, this could be viewed as interfering in Confederation affairs. The diplomatic implications. Noted, Commander. Maya cut him off. But I won't stand by while civilians die when we have the power to help. The diplomatic consequences can be managed afterward. Commander Chen nodded, respecting both her authority and her principles. Aye, Captain. Station Control is requesting explanation for unscheduled departure. Communications Officer Paddle reported. Inform them we're responding to the distress call, Proxima IV, Maya replied. Tell them we'll rendezvous with their defense forces when they arrive. The Horizon disengaged from the docking port with precision that belied its massive size. Within moments, its revolutionary FTL drive engaged, creating a controlled tear in spacetime that propelled the vessel toward the besieged colony, at speeds the Confederation considered impossible for a ship of its mass. The transition to normal space near Proxima IV was flawless. The view screen immediately displayed the colony below, a series of domed structures on the surface of a terraformed moon, and the 3 attacking vessels in orbit. Energy weapons fired from the aggressors, targeting the colony's shields, which were already failing. Scan those vessels, Maya ordered. I want to know who we're dealing with. Configuration unknown, Rivera reported after a moment. They don't match any Confederation registry. Heavily armed, but their energy signatures suggest technology comparable to mid-tier Confederation standards. Open a channel, Maya commanded. Channel open. Attention unidentified vessels. This is Captain Maya Torres of the Earth Federation ship Horizon. Cease your attack on this colony immediately or face defensive action. The only response was a sudden shift in targeting as 2 of the vessels redirected their weapons toward the Horizon. Energy beams lashed out, striking the Earth vessel's shields. Shields holding at 97%, Rivera reported calmly. Their weapons are powerful, but nothing our defenses can't handle. Target their weapon systems only, Maya ordered. Precision strikes, minimal yield. I want to disable, not destroy. The Horizon responded with surgical precision. Brilliant blue particle beams lanced out from specialized ports along its hull, striking the nearest attacker's weapon emplacements with devastating accuracy. The alien vessel's weapons went dark immediately, secondary explosions rippling along its hull. 1 target disabled, Rivera confirmed. The other 2 are breaking off attack on the colony and converging on us. Evasive pattern Delta, Maya ordered. Deploy countermeasures and prepare Thunderbolt missiles for proximity detonation. The Horizon moved with agility that should have been impossible for a vessel its size, dancing between enemy weapons fire, while its point defense systems intercepted incoming projectiles. The observation deck of the colony below offered its inhabitants a front-row seat to an unprecedented display of human combat capability. They're attempting to coordinate their attack, Chen observed. Bracketing maneuver. Perfect, Maya replied with a tight smile. Lieutenant Hassan, on my mark, full reverse thrust, and execute roll maneuver Epsilon 7. The timing was impeccable. As the enemy vessels positioned themselves on opposite sides of the Horizon's expected trajectory, the Earth ship suddenly reversed direction and rolled, presenting its broadside to both attackers simultaneously. Fire thunderbolts, proximity pattern, 20% yield. Missile tubes along the Horizon's flanks opened, launching dozens of advanced projectiles that split into hundreds of submunitions. Rather than directly impacting the enemy vessels, they detonated in precisely calculated patterns around them, creating electromagnetic pulses and kinetic shockwaves that disrupted their systems without destroying the ships. Both targets experiencing cascading system failures, Rivera reported with barely contained excitement. Their engines and weapons are offline. Colony shields have failed, Dr. Okafor reported more soberly. But the attack stopped in time. Minimal casualties reported. Maya nodded grimly. Maintain defensive posture and establish communication with the colony. Offer medical assistance. The battle had lasted less than 7 minutes. 6 hours later, Captain Torres stood in a hastily arranged conference chamber on the colony's central administrative dome. Beside her was Governor Trinex, a reptilian saurian who administered the Proxima colony, along with Admiral Koss of the Confederation Defense Force, who had arrived with reinforcements an hour after the Horizon. The raiders were Blackfang mercenaries. Admiral Koss explained, her translucent tentacles rippling with agitation. They've been raiding outlying colonies for months, always disappearing before our forces could respond. Your intervention saved thousands of lives. The Horizon was in position to help. Maya replied simply. We acted accordingly. You did more than help. Governor Trinex hissed, the sound indicating respect in Saurian communication. You disabled 3 hostile vessels without destroying them, preserving crucial intelligence. Your ship's capabilities are remarkable. Admiral Koss seemed less comfortable with that observation, which raises questions about how a supposedly pre-spacefaring civilization developed such advanced technology in secret. Perhaps the question should be why your civilization assumes technological development follows only one path. Maya countered respectfully but firmly. Humanity's progress has always been driven by necessity and innovation, not predetermined sequences. Governor Trinex intervened before tension could escalate. Regardless of how it was achieved, we are grateful for Earth's assistance today. I've already communicated as much to the Confederation Council. The Admiral's mood shifted visibly at that news. Yes, well, the Council is quite interested in debriefing your crew, Captain. They've requested your immediate return to Central Station. Maya sensed the undercurrent of political maneuvering. Of course, Admiral. Once our medical teams have finished treating the injured, and we've completed repairs to the colony's defense systems. The message was clear. Humanity would help those in need before attending to politics. Admiral Koss recognized the subtle diplomacy and nodded reluctantly. After the officials departed, Commander Chen approached Maya privately. Captain, our intelligence team has decrypted some interesting communications from the Confederation fleet. It seems there's significant disagreement among their leadership regarding our presence. Elaborate, Maya ordered, keeping her voice low. 3 distinct factions appear to be forming. The progressives see us as a valuable addition to the Confederation, impressed by our technological approach and combat effectiveness. The traditionalists view us as a dangerous anomaly that disrupts established development protocols. And a third group, smaller but influential, seems actively hostile. They're calling for containment or even elimination of the human threat. Maya processed this information carefully. Who leads the hostile faction? Based on communication patterns, we believe it's centered around War Patriarch Gorv and the Kral hegemony, with support from several other militaristic species. Interesting timing that these raiders attacked while we were making first contact, Maya observed. Almost convenient for those who might want to test our capabilities without direct confrontation. You think the attack was sanctioned? Chen asked, alarmed. Not officially, perhaps, but I suspect some elements wouldn't mind seeing how humans perform under pressure, Maya replied. Continue monitoring their communications. We need to know who our friends and enemies are. The journey back to Central Station was accompanied by an honor escort of Confederation vessels, ostensibly a sign of respect, but the positioning suggested containment as much as honor. Captain Torres used the time to prepare her crew for the political battle ahead, knowing their demonstration of force had forever changed their diplomatic position. Upon their return, the reception was markedly different. Where before there had been cautious curiosity, now there was open respect from some species and barely concealed animosity from others. The chamber where the council had gathered was filled to capacity, representatives from all 127 member species present, either physically or via holographic projection. Administrator Vexlor opened the proceedings, his luminescent patterns subdued. Captain Torres, the Council has reviewed the events at Proxima IV. Your intervention saved many lives and is commended. However, your vessel's combat capabilities raise serious concerns about Earth's technological development and intentions. War Patriarch Gorv rumbled his agreement. A species that appears suddenly with advanced weaponry must be carefully evaluated. We propose that Earth submit to comprehensive technological inspections and limitations before further integration into the Confederation. Maya had anticipated this approach. With respect, War Patriarch, Earth entered the galactic community not through conquest or aggression, but by responding to a distress call that your forces couldn't reach in time. Our technology was developed to ensure our survival, not to threaten others. A new voice joined the debate, a being composed of swirling gases contained within a crystalline exoskeleton. I am Eldersrix of the Epsilon Collective. The humans demonstrated remarkable restraint in their engagement, disabling rather than destroying their opponents. This speaks to their character as much as their capability. Another representative, a small simian creature with 6 arms, chittered excitedly. The Vest Communion agrees. Their approach to technology shows creativity we haven't seen in millennia. The traditionalist path has stagnated innovation. The debate raged for hours, positions crystallizing into the factions Chen had identified. Throughout, Maya and her team defended Earth's position with a mixture of diplomacy and firm resolve, never backing down but never threatening, a delicate balance that showcased humanity's political acumen alongside its military prowess. As the formal proceedings adjourned for the day, Science Elder Kavrash approached Maya privately. "Captain Torres, there is information you should possess. Your arrival has accelerated a conflict that has been brewing in the Confederation for centuries." "What conflict?" Maya asked, immediately alert. "Between progress and stagnation," the crystalline being replied. "The Technological Progression Committee you encountered earlier wasn't formed to guide development. It was created to control it, to maintain the existing power structure." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because Earth represents something many of us have waited for, a civilization that developed independently of these constraints. You've already inspired several member species to question protocols that have limited their advancement for generations." Maya considered the implications carefully. "Are you suggesting the traditionalists see us as a threat not because of our weapons, but because of our ideas?" "Precisely. Ideas are far more dangerous than warships, Captain. Your very existence challenges the established order. And you support this challenge. The meritocracy of aligned minds believes in advancement through innovation, not prescription. We've operated within the system, slowly working to change it. Your arrival could be the catalyst that finally succeeds, or the spark that ignites conflict." Before Maya could respond, her communication device signaled. "Torres here." "Captain." Commander Chen's voice came through, tense with urgency. "We've decrypted classified Confederation communications. The Krull hegemony is preparing a fleet movement toward Earth. They're calling it a precautionary deployment, but the formation is clearly offensive." Maya's blood ran cold, but her voice remained steady. "Understood. Return to the ship immediately. Alert all personnel." She turned back to Elder Kavrash, whose crystalline structure had taken on a darker hue. "You heard." "Yes, this is moving faster than anticipated. Captain, you should know you are not without allies here. Many of us have prepared for this moment, when the old order would face its inevitable challenge." "What are you suggesting?" "Return to your ship. Prepare your defenses. When the Council reconvenes tomorrow, I and others will present evidence that certain factions have deliberately manipulated technology sharing to maintain their dominance. The Krull's aggressive move will serve as proof of their intentions." Maya nodded sharply. "Thank you for your candor, Elder. Earth came here seeking friends, not conquest. We'll defend ourselves if necessary, but prefer peaceful resolution." "As do we all, Captain. Perhaps that is why your species gives us hope." Aboard the Horizon, Maya gathered her senior staff in the secure conference room, the intelligence from Confederation communications displayed on screens around them. "The situation has escalated beyond diplomatic posturing," she explained. "The Krull hegemony is mobilizing toward Earth, likely to establish a quarantine or worse. Meanwhile, it appears we've become the focal point of an existing ideological conflict within the Confederation." "So much for peaceful first contact," Dr. Okafor observed grimly. "On the contrary," Maya replied, "we've already secured crucial allies among the progressive factions. Elder Kavrash and others will present evidence tomorrow that certain traditionalist species have been manipulating technological development protocols to maintain their dominance." "Can we trust them?" Commander Chen asked. "We can trust that their interests currently align with ours," Maya answered pragmatically. "More importantly, Our defense of Proxima IV has demonstrated that humanity can contribute meaningfully to Confederation security. We arrived as unknowns. We now have leverage. What about Earth? Lieutenant Rivera asked, concern evident. If the Krull fleet reaches Sol, they won't, Maya stated with calm certainty. Before we left, Earth activated the defensive grid we've been constructing for the past decade. The Sol system is far better protected than anyone in the Confederation realizes. But we need to resolve this politically before military action becomes inevitable. She stood, eyes meeting each of her officers in turn. Humanity has faced existential threats throughout our history: plagues, wars, environmental catastrophes. Each time, we've adapted and emerged stronger. This challenge is no different. We came to the stars prepared for whatever we might find. Now we must show the Confederation not just our strength, but our wisdom. The next day, the council chamber erupted into chaos as Elder Kavresh presented damning evidence that the Technological Progression Committee had systematically suppressed innovations that threatened established power structures. When the Krull hegemony's fleet movement was revealed, the political balance shifted dramatically, with previously neutral species aligning with the progressives. Captain Torres addressed the council with measured confidence. The Earth Federation came here seeking peaceful exchange of knowledge and culture. We hope to join the galactic community as equals, not subjects. Recent events have shown that some among you fear this equality. Fear what we represent not because we are warlike, but because we demonstrate that your established paths are not the only routes to advancement. She paused, letting her words resonate through the chamber. We do not seek conflict with the Krull hegemony or any Confederation species. But make no mistake, Earth will defend itself, its independence, and its right to develop along its own path. We would prefer to do so as members of this Confederation, with mutual respect and cooperation. Administrator Vexilor's bioluminescent patterns flashed rapidly as he conferred with other council members. Finally, he addressed the assembly. The events of recent days have forced us to reconsider many long-held assumptions. The protection of Proxima IV, the evidence presented by Elder Kavresh, and the concerning actions of certain factions have created an unprecedented situation. He turned his four eyes directly to Maya. Captain Torres, the Council hereby formally recognizes Earth as an independent spacefaring civilization with all rights and responsibilities thereof. We accept your application for observer status within the Confederation, with expedited consideration for full membership. The Krull hegemony will be instructed to stand down its fleet immediately. War Patriarch Gorv rumbled with anger, but found himself isolated as former allies distanced themselves from his faction's aggressive stance. The political winds had shifted, and pragmatism overtook ideology. As the formal proceedings concluded, Maya found herself surrounded by representatives eager to establish direct relations with Earth. What had begun as a tense diplomatic mission had transformed into the first steps of genuine integration into the galactic community. You've accomplished something remarkable, Elder Kavresh observed, joining her as she prepared to return to the horizon. In less than 2 weeks, you've reformed structures that have remained static for millennia. Earth didn't set out to reform your civilization, Maya replied honestly. We simply refuse to accept limitations others wish to impose on us. If that catalyzes positive change for others, so much the better. And that, Captain Torres, is precisely why humanity's arrival has changed everything, the Elder said, crystalline structure shimmering with what Maya now recognized as amusement. Not your weapons or your technology, impressive though they are, but your refusal to accept artificial constraints on what's possible. As Maya returned to the horizon to report their success, she reflected on humanity's journey. From the discovery of that crashed scout ship 30 years ago to this moment of triumph, Earth had prepared diligently for first contact. They had expected challenges, perhaps even hostility, but found instead that their greatest contribution to the galaxy might not be their technological innovations, but their perspective, the uniquely human capacity to question established wisdom and forge new paths. The Horizon would soon return to Earth as heralds of a new era. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as supplicants or subjects, but as respected equals, perhaps even as catalysts for long overdue change. And that, Captain Torres thought with satisfaction, was exactly as it should be.